Hey, if we want to build the future, we're gonna need some things.
Like a high-speed internet connection that can turn my ideas into reality.
Like the skills to become the world's most powerful coder.
The resources to make more films with people who look like me.
Like me.
Like me.
Like me. Like me. Like me. Like me.
Like the tools to start my sustainable shoe business.
Way more space to collaborate.
Yeah, that's better.
Through Project Up, Comcast is committing $1 billion to open doors for the next generation so they can build a future of unlimited possibilities.
You want a healthier lifestyle, but how do you get started? Then stick with it by listening to the Fitness Revolution podcast with Shay Sandifer, of course. Your journey to greater well-being starts now.
Hello. Happy Black History Month. It's your Coach Shay here with Fitness Revolution. Such an exciting month. Last week we had talking about wellness between Black women, and this week we are talking about wellness, not just in the Black community, but also focusing really on the Black male and them surviving out here in the United States and this world in a safe way. And we have an amazing guest on today, amazing guest. He is one of 3 founders of the company called TurnSignl. And so let's welcome Mr. Mychal Frelix.
Hello. I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for having me on the show.
Yes, thank you for saying yes to me at a networking event.
Anytime
That's what
I get
you're
an
supposed to do,
opportunity,
right?
that's what I'm here for. And I think we connected back maybe a year ago at an event that was tailored
2 years ago.
2 years ago. Wow, tailored for Black men. And so when you said, Mike, can you come join the podcast? Like, let's go. Let's run it.
Right. So I forget I forget who introduced us. Oh, Fonz introduced us. So yes, Fonz Mayfield. So yeah, I'm glad he brought you to that because the first time you came to that, TurnSignl hadn't even launched yet. So you guys have blown up. I mean, well, first of all, what an amazing concept that's honed in on just the Black man. Let's just say that. So kudos to you. And as you know, I love the Black man. So as my event, Black Men Are Valued, I was like, I need to have him on here so we can really talk about, because I've never talked about this with you. I met you and then your company launched that fall of 2020. So actually we're going on 3 years. Gosh, time flies, doesn't it? Yes.
It's been crazy how quickly things have changed and escalated since that I think it was October 2020. So
yep. Yeah.
We're here.
So you're the Chief Growth Officer for TurnSignl, correct? So please tell us, and let's take it back to 2020, what enlightened you and what inspired you to quit corporate and head into this business of yours.
Yeah, so it actually started before 2020. I grew up, born and raised in St. Paul, Minnesota, and back in 2016, during a routine traffic stop, Philando Castile tragically lost his life, and that was one of those moments where we paused and said, "Something's not right about these interactions."
Right.
Time went on, more and more incidents of police brutality happened, and the pot boiled over in 2020 when George Floyd was murdered at the hands of law enforcement, and that's when we said enough's enough. And so we left our corporate jobs. I was working at Sony Electronics at the time. Chaz and I were talking to each other. We went to the University of St. Thomas together, and then Andre, my long-term best friend, or long-time best friend rather, he and I. We're just talking and saying, how can we be a part of the solution? And that's really where TurnSignl started. And we all quit in October 2020, and we're now in 27 states.
I was just going to ask, how many states are you in? Let's talk about 27. Wonderful. So there became in between there, though, before you even got that, for an app was developed, correct? So tell us about the app and like how that got started.
Yeah. So during those conversations that we were having after, during kind of the civil unrest back in 2020, we said, wouldn't it be just really good to have someone in the car? Then I talked to Jazz, and he's like, I whenever I call my mom when I'm in an accident or I'm being pulled over, my mom's like, I don't know what to do. And so he's like, it needs to be an attorney, the person that's really trained. And so from there, we took that seed of an idea and built out what is today the TurnSignl application, where we connect drivers to attorneys face to face during traffic stops or accidents to make sure that one, their rights are being protected and that they can get home safely.
Wow. So they use this app. So you download this app. And then if you're being pulled over, you hit that app and it immediately connects you, if you're in one of these 27 states, to an attorney. That's genius. That's genius. And that you got these attorneys to sign off on this. Like, yes, I want to be a part of this. I think that's the biggest accomplishment, right? Like, you have this idea, but when you get people to believe in this idea, like, yes, they need to be connected to us. So with that being said, this amazing idea, what's been the response for people that use the app?
Yeah, when we look at the app, and a lot of people ask a similar question is what impact are you making? And it's not all about the button being pressed and being connected to an attorney. We do track that, but it's really about how do you feel when you just having TurnSignl in your car. And I can go through. We had a situation where someone was driving down in Georgia, and they were pulled over, and it was actually a student down at Morehouse who we partnered with. And they said, you know what? Just the fact that I had TurnSignl on my phone and had an attorney just present, the attorney didn't have to say anything, but the attorney's presence made it more of a calming interaction for me as a driver. And that's really part of the reason why we started this app is, I've been pulled over more times than I can count. And some of those times haven't necessarily been the greatest. And so in my mom, my partner's not always there and available for me. And so what TurnSignl adds is that calming presence whenever you need it, just to be there with you in your passenger seat.
That's wonderful. That is, I can just imagine, like, because as we've seen in these routine, right, stops, they're always asking for their mom. They're always looking for someone just to help and just to, calm that situation down for a second, to save them. And so that's what I feel like. It calms you down from the inside out, and to know that they have someone there that can help, get them out of that situation. Because that's what it is, right? It's a situation that should be a 5-minute situation, and then you drive off.
Exactly.
But it's not that lately. So have you had to use your own app since you launched it?
I have. Unfortunately, I've had to use it more times than I even want to admit. And
Really?
And actually, yeah.
I'm actually shocked. I am.
Yeah. And so one fun fact, I love fishing, and the nature of me going fishing is that I have to wake up really early in the morning.
Absolutely.
So I remember one morning I'm getting up, I think it's around 4 o'clock, the sun's not even out, and I'm driving and I get pulled over. I pressed the button right when I pulled over, had an attorney there. Officer comes up to my window. I had my TurnSignl hat, I had a TurnSignl bumper sticker on, I had the app going with the attorney there. And part of the reason why I feel like that stop went so well is that we have some of that brand recognition. So that officer came up to the window and was like, you were speeding. It's okay. You know what? Let's get you back out there. I want to get you out on the lake as quickly as possible. And I was like, all right, great.
That fallback game happened real quick. Oh, TurnSignl. I think they talked about this in the meeting the other day.
Exactly. And so that's why that work is so important for us to get out in front of it. Because what we always say is we are an app to bridge the gap, and we want to make sure that we are that conduit that makes sure that those interactions can go more smoothly and get everyone home safe at the end of the day.
Well, I'm glad. Yes, that's good. That's what you need, right? For every precinct to be talking about this. You know what I mean? So that when they go out, they're like, oh, shoot, they could hit a button. Because
Right.
I feel like that's what the police officers need at this point, right? They need some fear on what will happen on the back end. Not necessarily from the, the driver or even anyone in the car, but to know that you understand that you could not just take someone's life, but you can lose your life too. Like it needs to be that detrimental because they are killing Black men in America. It's a hunting game. I feel on, and
Hmm.
as someone who's a daughter and a sister and a girlfriend and a mother of Black males, it is terrifying to know that, right? And I feel like and the same thing. I'm like you. I'm born and raised here, so I don't get pulled over like that. And when it really came to talk about that stuff, in 2020, I was like, I've been pulled over, but I don't think anywhere near as much as other people. Like, you know what I mean? Like as Black males, I was like, I just don't think I have, and I haven't because
Mm.
I pass cops every day. Don't
Hmm.
watch today. I get pulled over. Let me download this app
Yeah. Download it.
because
And
it's for everyone, right?
it is. It's an app for everyone. And what at the core of it is all about accountability.
Accountability.
Right. We've got an attorney there that has an intimate knowledge of the law and sometimes even greater knowledge of the law
Right.
than police officers. And so it's about making sure that those rights are being upheld. And then the call is being recorded, right? So now we've got an attorney there where everyone can kind of take a moment of pause and say, okay, this attorney's trying to get me home,
Hmm.
officer included, right? And so we've been able to really get a lot of traction and buy-in because it's just another tool for accountability. If officers are doing their job
Right.
the way they're supposed to, they have nothing to worry about during those
Exactly.
interactions.
Exactly. Because I think we're missing the key part is accountability and communication.
Mm.
We know you're the authority person, but we don't need you to act on every part of that because I got pulled over for speeding. Or, as I would say, pretending I was speeding or pretending there was not a lane change signal. So many things that have happened. And you're like, I know I did that, right? You start second guessing yourself about the part you played in that. And it's just like, and it's also, we have to realize when people are getting pulled over, there's fear now, right? You used to get pulled over, and I feel like you're like, oh, geez, I could get a ticket. Like that was like how you felt. I felt like I was like, oh my gosh, if I get a ticket, and
Mm.
now it's like fear of I'm going to make it out of this, and that's something that 9 times out of 10 people that aren't that are white, they don't have to worry about that. They don't have to worry about that. And that's never going to be the first thing. Am I going to die if I get pulled over? We automatically have that. And don't you feel that that's just like, it's disheartening because I know you have children and I like to think that that's how we have to think to just drive. Driving is a privilege that you took a course to take a test so you could be out and not to be killed because you took it.
Yeah, there's so many instances where we're seeing this stuff over and over, even with Tyree Nichols. There's a
Right.
lot of trauma behind it, and there's a lot of conversations behind it, and we still have a lot of that stuff to unpack. And so, while we know
Absolutely.
that TurnSignl is not a silver bullet to ending police brutality, what it is just a tool for folks to really feel comfortable and lower stress, lower anxiety. Because I saw a statistic out there throughout the course of our lives, we spend 8 years behind the wheel of our vehicles. 8 years, right? So that's a lot of time. So if we really want folks to really kind of be calm, be cool, be collected, and really start to unpack that trauma, we've got to start putting out tools to help support that.
Right.
And the turn signals right there for folks to have on their phones.
Yes. I love it. I absolutely love it. So tell people, how can they get this app? I didn't know. I want to know right now. How do I get this app?
Yeah, so TurnSignl is available on Android or iOS. So you can go to the Google Play Store or the App Store and download the app. TurnSignl is free for members of the community that make less than $40,000 a year or $60 a year. And we're excited because we work with a lot of corporations to be able to subsidize those memberships for the community. And if you're a corporation out there, TurnSignl's here and offered as an employee benefit. So we've heard a lot of companies focus on diversity, equity, inclusion, and employee well-being. Well, this is a great solution to help make sure that your employees feel safe and comfortable traveling to and from work or taking their kids to a dance recital on the weekends. And so reach out to me on LinkedIn, Mychal Frelix, or on Twitter or Instagram. I love to be able to connect and help get TurnSignl onto your phones.
I love it. I got it up already so I can get it because I was like, I need this, right? And I'm going to share it with all my friends. I have a son that will be getting his license this summer. He's 16. I know people like Shaletta, she has a son, so our sons need it too. You know what I mean? And I have a ton of friends that have sons that will need it here in our community. I love what you're doing, brother. Can't wait to have you on another platform, which we'll talk about, which is Black Men of Value, because I think that's a great connection. But keep doing what you're doing. Keep spreading the joy of understanding that being safe is wellness, being Black is wellness, and that means getting home, is wellness, to be home with our families. So kudos to you, as always, to anyone listening. As he said, you can connect with him. You can get this app on your phone, and tell them once again where they can connect with you and get the app.
Yeah, so you can go to TurnSignl.com, our website, or you can reach out to me directly on LinkedIn or Twitter at Mychal Frelix, Mychal, Mychal, Frelix, Frelix. And I am so thankful, Coach Shay,
yes,
for you having me on the show. And I continue to excited for us to continue this partnership and you spreading the amazing work that Black folk here and across the country are doing to support our own health and well-being.
Yes. Well, as always, for those listening, inhale the positive, exhale the negative. Healing from the inside out is chicken noodle soup for the soul. And I am Coach Shay with Fitness Revolution, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Check back next week for more on living your healthier lifestyle and share previous episodes of Shay's podcast with your friends. Log on to ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com.
Boost your immunity and help protect your community. COVID-19 is still here, and it's not too late to get your booster. Staying up to date with vaccines can help build protection that has decreased since your last shot and provide better protection against newer variants. Boosters are an important part of protecting yourself from getting seriously ill from COVID-19. To learn more and schedule your appointment, visit ramseycounty.us/COVID vaccine.
All right, did you know the Mommy Slam Dunk Champion?
Really?
Yes, really, don't sound so surprised.
Let's see it.
Oh, you're ready. All right, here we go. Let's hear the crowd. So go to right, go to left. Fake them out. Mama, go up, mama!
She did it.
Again?
You can't avoid gravity, but United Healthcare can help you avoid financial surprises by helping you compare costs and doctor quality ratings. United Healthcare.
Uh-huh.